Okay, you're taking this subject. It's under General Studies, Appreciation of Ethics and Civilization. So, let's see what we're going to talk about in the subject. So, please refer to your notes that will be included in the Google Classroom. Please join your the Google Classroom I have provided in the spectrum. Please join the WhatsApp group. Okay? So, we have about 9 topics, and then we're going to learn about ethics and civilization. Ethics and civilization are important elements in the society, but the level of appreciation is different and influenced by the development of history, social structure, and the social structure of the society. So we must understand ethics, appreciation of ethics according to Malaysian framework, because you are in Malaysia, you are going to learn things the Malaysian way. Okay. We have pre-colonial, colonial, and post-colonial ethics. We're gonna discuss this later. Okay. Today is only the introduction, so we're just gonna touch merely on the surface of it. The need. Okay. So we have pre-colonial, which is traditional ethics, which is manners and custom, and we have colonial ethics, which is ethics, ethos, and etiquettes. Post-colonial, modern ethics plus custom. So we have here what formulated it: history, family background, biography, community, social structure, everything. Even the market. By the market, I'm talking about what we sell. Okay. So why is it important? Because if we have ethics and we are civilized, we will have a respectable personality, and we will have mutual respect, meaning mutual respect to each other, and especially for international students coming into Malaysia, mutual respect to Malaysian. Okay, and live in harmony, building a nation state and others. So, let's define what is manners. So, manners, if you speak Arabic, is the same word in Arabic in Malay. It's adab. So, how to behave towards people, and socially correct, and to show respect for their comfort and their feelings. For example, in Malaysia, you cannot touch a person's head because it's very uncomfortable and it's a taboo. And then culture and custom. A custom is defined as what? As ideas, as cultural ideas that describe regular pattern behavior that is considered characteristic of life in a social system. Okay. Ideas is basically ideas that regulate. Regulate means control your behaviors. Okay. Like I said, here in Malaysia, you don't touch other people's head. Okay. Pattern behavior that is considered characteristic of life in a social system: shaking hands, bowing, kissing. All customs are method of greeting people. This method most commonly used in given society to help distinguish culture from one another. So culture and custom is almost similar. Okay. Then, what is Malaysian culture? Okay. The values of Malaysian cultures are gentleness. They are very gentle people, very calm, gentle. We don't like confrontation. And then budi. Budi is there is no I think there is no English word equivalent to budi. Budi is like you have to greet people, you have to be polite. It's a whole thing. Okay. Be gentle, not be loud. Okay. And if you trying to, like, if you were yelling at people, you will not get anything done in this country. Okay. And then you have to have respect. You have to have a way of talking to a person who is older than you, a higher station than you, and then you have modesty. So you have to be modest, meaning you have to wear things that are, accepted, behaviors that are accepted. And then you have to have the concept of face. The concept of face is you should not embarrass people in public, and nothing should be done in public. Berating, saying no, everything should be done in private. And then filial piety is being being it's like being a good son or daughter or child to your parents. Okay, and then you have diversity, so we respect each other. Here in Malaysia, no non-Muslim will offer a Muslim pork or things that they are not sure about Muslim can eat or not, vice versa, because we have diversity and we respect that diversity. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is ethics. So what is ethics? It's basically a branch of philosophy that studies morality, right and wrong behavior. Simply is that. A branch of philosophy that study right and wrong. But right and wrong is also very subjective in this case. Like I mentioned earlier, we are going to focus right and wrong in Malaysian culture because we are trying to help you to assimilate and live in this country, and then try to be, not try to navigate yourself for the next 4 or 5 years without much problem. Okay? So what does ethos mean? Just now we talk about ethics. The distinguishing character, sentiments, moral nature, or guiding belief of a person, group, or institution. Ethos, Malaysian ethos might be different maybe from Western ethos. Okay, Western ethos may be a bit direct. Malaysian ethos is, for example, if your lecturer did something wrong, you cannot simply tell your lecturer it's wrong. You might need to pull him away or her away and talk to her nicely. But for me, no, it's okay. You can tell me directly. That is my ethos. So ethos is when an argument is constructed based on the ethics or credibility of the person making the argument. Ethos is in contrast to pathos, appealing to emotion. And then logos, appealing to logic or reason. Basically an argument, for example, what is wrong with touching head? Maybe in your culture it's not wrong, but in other people's culture it's wrong. Okay, maybe shaking hand between men and women in your culture is not wrong, but in other people's culture it's wrong. So that is ethos. Etiquette describe requirement of behavior according to convention of society. It includes the proper conduct that is established by community for various occasions, including ceremonies, court, formal events, and everyday life. Okay, so basically etiquettes, for example, fine dining etiquette. So you probably have 3 spoons or 5 forks. So you must use the right fork for the right spoon. Or for example, Malay eating etiquette, you use the right hand, not the left hand. Okay, so when you use hand, you must always use your right hand, not your left hand. I think in most culture that use hands, even in Hindus and other culture, they use the right hand, not the left hand. Okay. So, periodization of ethics and civilization is based on the pre-colonial, colonial, and post-colonial time. Periodization is timeline, meaning when did this happen? When did this ethics people start using this? When did people start using that? Okay. So before the advent of colonialism, there were ethics in society called manners, culture, and custom. So this migration processes from within the Malay archipelagos and externally impacted the ethics due to process of lending and borrowing, and it is embedded in the society. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is this. The Malay archipelagos is Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines. Basically this part of Southeast Asia, we have intermigration, and then our cultures are almost similar. So it impacted the ethics because we lend and we borrow. Okay, the ethics, not money. Okay, so pre-colonials, meaning Malaysia did not exist yet because we were not colonized and we don't have Malaysia. So the ethics can be formal or informal. So these ethics, customs, culture and custom. And post-colonial era is the modern era. So you can see the cartoon there. They're speaking Malay and English. So if you can identify a few English word there. So society has accepted the variation and mixing of ethical version directly through technology. So meaning the Malaysian ethic these days can be a variation of Malay ethics and Western ethics. It depends on the person and how much exposed they are to Western ethics. Okay, framework to analyze Malaysian ethics and civilization through history, social structure and biography or history again. Okay, so difference and influence by historical development. Who am I? For example, if you are someone of a background that is mixed, so perhaps you have different kind of ethics from the pure Malay. Okay, where were you born? For example, people who were born in the Middle East, despite having the same religion as the Muslim here, might have different ways of doing things. Okay, so let's go to the next topic.